All right. We are off to a rip-roaring start here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. So for many of you, you received a notification if you subscribe to the channel that we would be live tonight at 6:30 Eastern Time. This is a Wednesday night, 6:30 Eastern Time, talking Ohio State football with Steve Hellwagon from 247 Sports Bucknuts. And Steve is right on time all the time. But unfortunately, Steve has not been able to find the link, or I don't know what the issue is. I cannot get in touch with Steve. I hope and pray that everything is fine with Steve. But we are missing our 6:30 guest. And again, the most important thing is that everything is okay with Steve. Maybe we misconnected in some way. But we had a live stream all set and scheduled for you, Ohio State fans, college football fans, at 6:30 Eastern Time right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. So it hit about 6:45, and I thought I need to say hi to the good people out there who follow, subscribe, share, and comment, and like on a regular basis. So it's good to have you, and we're off to a rocky start on a Wednesday night, but we expect things to get much, much better. All right, so I may, because of the failed live stream at 6:30 Eastern Time, may adjust the scheduling just a bit. Originally, we had the live stream set up for Ohio State fans at 6:30. Then I had a couple records lined up with Tony Gerdeman from the ozone.net to talk Ohio State football and provide those segments to you later this week, and also Claire Crawford to talk more Ohio State football. So Buckeyes fans, we had you well covered tonight with 3 different separate conversations on Ohio State football. Also, for the first time here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, Ryan Fowler from The Game on 102.9 FM, Tide 102.9. And he's coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern Time to talk Alabama football. That's going to be recorded, not going to be a live stream with Ryan at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And you can look forward to those segments being posted and coming your way later this week. Then at 8:30, right here, 8:30 Eastern Time, we will have Cam Underwood from State of the U to talk Miami football. And those segments will be posted in segment form on our Miami channel later this week as well. So again, hopefully Steve can join us for just a few minutes as we prepare for Ryan Fowler from Tide 102.9 at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So I'm hanging out here for about 10 minutes. Thought I would strike up the live stream and jump on here because I know that many of you are here with me and wondering what the heck is going on. And unfortunately, and I apologize, Steve and I unfortunately have not connected here for some reason, and that has never happened before. So again, we hope and pray that everything's okay with Mr. Hellwagon from Bucknuts, who provides us with great analysis and information and discussion each and every week on Ohio State football. Thank you so much for subscribing to Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. We are up over 8,700 subscribers here, over 1,300 subscribers over at our Miami channel. So do the math. That's over 10,000 subscribers, including USC and Ohio State subscribers of about 400. So let's push it toward 20,000. I would like to get 10,000 subscribers right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, on our main channel by April 1st. April Fools. Maybe we can plan something good. Maybe some of you can come up with some great content suggestions for April 1st, April Fool's Day. It's only about a month away. So give me your best suggestions on how we can sneak up on some people on April Fool's Day. I'll check out the live chat in just a minute, answer some questions following the conversation on Miami football at 8:30 Eastern Time with Cam. I may stick around to do a call-in show depending on your readiness, your engagement, and your desire to jump on the line, 860-325-3687 to talk college football. Let me jump on the live chat, and then I would like to talk about Alex Hornibrook's decision today and announcement today of his decision to transfer from Wisconsin as a 3-year starter at quarterback. Transfer from Wisconsin to go who knows where, with Jack Cohn wrestling away 3 to 4 games from him last season. And then also with Wisconsin signing the top-rated pocket passer in high school football, the #1 rated pocket passer out of Kansas, signing with Wisconsin, and Alex Hornibrook deciding after throwing 47 touchdowns and going 26-6 as the starter to take his skill set elsewhere. What I had lined up for Mr. Hellwagon involved recruiting, a discussion possibly on Matthew Baldwin, Justin Fields' backup. Then, of course, we have 10 Buckeyes going to the NFL Combine. We also have the Ohio State schedule in 2019 that includes Nebraska and Wisconsin. And we also have the Westgate Las Vegas Superbook odds that have come out that place Tua Tagovailoa as a huge favorite to win the Heisman Trophy at 5-2. And down the list, we've got Justin Fields at 6-1 from Ohio State, Adrian Martinez and Jalen Hurts of Oklahoma also at 6-1, Trevor Lawrence at 3-1, according again to the Westgate Las Vegas Superbook. Whoever just called me, please call back and I will take your call. And again, I will only be on the line for about another 7 to 8 minutes because we want to get you some Alabama football talk with Ryan Fowler of Tide 102.9.
The call will start at the beep.
Hey, it's Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Who's on the line?
Hey, Mark, it's George. How you doing?
George, you're going strong lately. You are really bringing it.
Hey, I go in cycles. It's cyclical.
Well, it's not that cyclical. Your down times are very brief, and then you come back strong.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. No, thank you, George.
I like to end every statement with saying I'll be here all week. You know, like Lenny Bruce or somebody would say.
Absolutely. If I ever have a wall of fame, George, you will be prominently displayed.
Well, listen, I'm proud of that because I did it by accident. I just, I had a thirst for college football, and I looked on YouTube, and I know you guys, you're on my Hall of Fame. You and Pete and Lou and Alonzo. I don't really get off on Cam that much. I think he's trying to get it to be a TV kind of guy. He's too vanilla. I need a little bit more of an edge on my Miami talk,
Cam's a fun guy. And he's very knowledgeable and insightful, and he does a tremendous job.
He's an apologist.
He is irreplaceable on here, and he's filling another bill.
All right. Whatever. I'm just saying he doesn't have enough of an edge. He's a nice guy, and Miami fans are not nice guys. The football team is not nice guys. Manny's not a nice guy. So Cam he's not the proper representation of Miami. Any of the other guys are, because they're rude and disrespectful and slighted, and they're insane.
Well, I think George, that you're making certain comments about me that seem to be off center, that most people would consider me to be a nice guy, but certainly
I'm questioning your choice of Cam as a Miami representative because I almost find it unbearable to watch.
Wow. Most people think he's the best. And for what he does, I would have to say that I have none better on here than Cam Underwood.
You know what? You know why I like Alonzo better? Because Alonzo's head was about to bust. If Mark Richt would have been the coach one more day, Alonzo would have probably had a stroke at work or something.
I love Zoe too. He's my guy. He's my guy.
Cam was just like, oh yeah, blah 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 blah. That's not a fan. That's a commentator. I like the fans.
Different takes for different people. We all have our different selections of ice cream, for example, right?
Right.
Now, see, most people would not consider, now you've seen me at certain times have a little bit of an edge, but every day, do I have an edge? Not necessarily. No, I'm more analytical. But if you get under my skin or I get on a rant about something, then it's a little bit different. Hey, George, we got some.
There's a lot of Miami channels. I was just trying to keep you on the phone while people found the show was on and got on.
Well, I appreciate that. We've got Mr. Steve Hellwagon on from Bucknuts, and he just joined us, so I'm going to have to bring him on because we only have a couple minutes. Thank you, George. Steve Hellwagon from Bucknuts. Steve, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, doing good.
Oh, do we have you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
There you are. There you are. We've got you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Mm.
Steve, if you can give me your best 3 to 4 minutes, I'll take it. I will just let you go.
Okay.
So whatever's on your mind, I made a list. I'll read my list in about 12 seconds. Recruiting, Matthew Baldwin, the NFL Combine, the schedule, the Westgate Las Vegas Superbook odds came out on the Heisman Trophy that included Justin Fields at 6-1, and that was pretty much all I had. So anything you'd like to talk about?
Okay. Well, I'm open for suggestion. They're going to start spring practice Monday or Tuesday of next week, so I guess that'll be something that we'll be getting into full force about. And they will only do 1 week because then they go on spring break the following week, and they come back for 4 more weeks after that, going up to their spring game in mid-April. So I think it'll be interesting to see if there's any kind of deviation or whatever that looks like with Ryan Day as the head coach as opposed to Urban Meyer. Certainly it'll be a subplot all spring and all really until they get into the fall is Justin Fields. Is he ready to run this offense? Is he really all he's cracked up to be? So I think that's something that people are going to be interested to find out about. I think here this spring and see exactly how he stacks up. You brought up Matthew Baldwin, the backup quarterback. I think there's questions there as well. I mean, you're going into a season where you don't have a quarterback who's ever started a college game before, which is interesting. Fields did play a little bit for Georgia. I think for the season, maybe attempted around 50 passes, something along those lines. So there's been, very little experience, I guess, between the two of them. And we'll find out, I guess, how efficient those two players are at that position as well. I think they've built a pretty good team around them. They just got word this week that Jonah Jackson from Rutgers is going to come to Ohio State as a transfer, I guess a graduate transfer. So he'll be immediately eligible this fall. It doesn't sound like he would be there necessarily for spring football other than maybe to observe what's going on, but he'll be with the team, it seems, for the fall. So that's going to be a good thing, certainly. And he's got experience from Rutgers playing the guard and the center position. So that'll be a good thing, I think, to add some more depth, at least to the offensive line. At center, he'd be fighting with Josh Myers, a sophomore, who's coming up to take over that position, a guard position. You got Wyatt Davis, who played a little bit this past year. He was kind of projected for one of the guard spots. So, I guess it'll be interesting to see how that competition will unfold, I guess. But it certainly gives them more depth on the offensive line. They're still looking at more graduate transfers as well for the offensive line. Some other guys that may or may not make campus visits. Here's the rest of the spring unfolds. So I think that that'll be interesting to track and see if they can add more depth at position. They only had, I think, 12 or 13 scholarship offensive linemen, which is not a lot when you think about it. So guess we'll see if they're able to add to that.
All right, Steve, with spring practice just a few days away, what I would love to do is obviously we'll react and we'll tap you for any of the news coming out of spring camp and your thoughts about that, but maybe take a couple positions every week and dissect those.
That would be great. I think we could do that. And again, some positions, they've got that depth, they've got that experience. And as I say, I think they're going to put a pretty good team around Justin Fields on the rest of the offense. And certainly over on defense, I mean, they've got 9 starters back on defense. And we will see what the new coaches on that side of the ball with Jeff Hafley and Greg Madison, Al Washington, and Matt Barnes. Those 4 as new assistant coaches for Ohio State on defense to go with Larry Johnson, who's back there as the defensive line coach. We'll see what direction they want to take.
And you're off to the NFL Combine bright and early, right?
Yes, I'm getting up first thing in the morning and heading off to Indianapolis. We'll be interviewing all of the 10 Ohio State players who are headed to the NFL Combine, including Nick Bosa, defensive end, the quarterback Dwayne Haskins, Draymond Jones, and a host of others over the next 4 days. We typically will interview those players after they have been measured and gone through some of the medical, but before they do any of the on-field stuff like run a 40-yard dash. We might catch some of them after they've already done the bench press, but that's about the only thing that they will have worked out, and that's only a few of them, I believe, before we get a chance to talk to them. So that's kind of an interesting thing that at least we do have a little bit of an entree with some of those guys before they get into the workout session.
All right, Steve. Safe travels to Indianapolis. What's that, about 2.5 hours?
Yeah, I live on the east side, so it's about 3 hours for me to get door to door to downtown Indianapolis, and just hoping for safe travel tomorrow and get over there and get in position. They started measuring and weighing players today, and tomorrow they will start with the interviews that run the rest of the week. So.
All right, Steve, we will let you go. I've got to run. I got to talk some Alabama football here at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
But I'll let you go. Safe travels to Indianapolis. Tide. We'll catch up with you next week. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
Thank you so much, Steve. Want to let everyone know that for the next hour and a half, I've got records at 7, 7:30, and 8 o'clock. I'll be back right here at 8:30 Eastern Time. 8:30 Eastern Time, Cam Underwood, State of the U, talking Miami football. Then it's up to you as to whether we will continue with the call-in show after Cam gets off the line. We shall see. Again, I apologize for the abbreviated Ohio State coverage because of scheduling and Steve getting on the line late. So I need to run. Talk some Alabama football. Those videos will be posted in the next few days. Some more Ohio State football with Claire Crawford and Tony Gerdeman from the Ozone. And back here at 8:30 Eastern Time, Cam Underwood, State of the U. If you're a subscriber, you've got the notification and lock right in. So thanks for joining us. We will see you in an hour and a half, 90 minutes right here for Miami Football Talk. And a call-in show if you would like. We'll see you.